her because she'd begged him to. Another chance to show off the most handsome man in San Majoria. She'd never dance in his arms again. Never wake up next to him. Never kiss him. Never share the secret she'd been saving for weeks and was finally ready to share in a couple of days, on the anniversary of their first date. Astrid sobbed like she hadn't sobbed since she was a little girl and her favorite dog had been put down, because once she left this room, this cocoon away from the prying eyes of the media and her well-meaning, sympathetic countrymen, she would need to be stoic, to be a member of a royal family that seldom showed emotion in public. The family who hated that she and Andre defied her grandmother's stance on PDA and held hands and embraced openly in public. How long she lay there, she didn't know, but eventually the doctor cleared his throat softly behind her. "My apologies, Your Royal Highness, but it's time." Astrid straightened, but made no effort to wipe her tear-stained cheeks. She leaned over and pressed a kiss to his forehead. Her desire to kiss his lips one last time was thwarted by the breathing tube. She turned and took a deep, steadying breath. "Doctor?" "Yes, ma'am?" "Is there any way we can fudge on his time of death? He would want his organs to go to those who need them most, but I don't believe I can stand people knowing or believing they received those organs. I think he would want people to know he'd given them, to set that example, but if everyone knows precisely when he died, and those who get the organs know when they were called, it would be a fairly simple thing for them to connect those dots." The doctor nodded. "We'll do what we can, ma'am." "Thank you." "Your father is waiting for you in the hall," the doctor prodded gently. "It's time for us to take the Duke to surgery." She squeezed Andre's hand one more time and laid it gently on the bed. "Goodbye, my love. Godspeed until I see you again," she whispered. Astrid tried to keep her head high and her shoulders back like she'd been taught. Her father waited for her, opening his arms. She crumpled into them as she hadn't done since she was a little girl. "Papa," her voice sounded as broken as her heart. "What am I going to do, Papa?" If she'd been more coherent, she would have expected an answer like, "Keep your head up, as all members of the Cordovan dynasty must." Instead, he tightened his grip around her and spoke softly. "Let us love you, my sweet girl." Behind her, men and women prepared her beloved for transport to the operating room, and then they were gone. He was gone. They were no longer a they. She was now a she, a widow, and still a crown princess. She would be expected to marry again, though how she could when her heart had just disappeared down the hall, she would never know. 1. Summer 2016. Jordan Haines gripped the bar and leaned his weight backwards. The wind shifted again, and he found himself windsurfing toward an unfamiliar beach in a sheltered cove. Posted signs warned that this was a private area, but Jordan ignored them. He knew himself, he knew his body, he knew his limits, and he was about at the end of his sometimes frustratingly short endurance. The time had come to get off the ocean and onto the beach for a rest, until he could call someone to pick him up or get enough of his oomph back to get back out on the waves. The former was more likely, but the latter was his preference. He'd packed some energy bars just in case. A few minutes after ignoring the signs, he sat on the beach, his gear dismantled for the time being. Under a conveniently placed umbrella, Jordan opened his pack to remove the protein bars and water bottles with energy drink flavoring. Jordan sat there, mesmerized as the waves moved in, then out, then in again. He loved the ocean, always had. More and more in the last 2 years, something about the clear blue salt water called to him, like a beacon. Especially this water. San Majoria, halfway between Bermuda and Puerto Rico, was roughly the same latitude as Palm Beach, Florida, and had beautiful weather year-round. Despite its location in the Sargasso Sea, it was often included with the Caribbean countries. "Hey!" He turned to see a woman walking onto the beach from a staircase a short distance.